Hi, welcome back yet again to the Beer Temple. I am Chris Quinn, and I am happy to be joined yet again by my lovely wife, Margaret.
Hey, everybody.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So, in the last episode, we did our Doppelbock, and now we're going to continue on with the German lager style. We're going to do really the king of the dark German lager, the Munich Dunkel, and a personal favorite of mine. I really kind of fell in love with this beer a couple of years ago. And the big problem with this beer is it's so underrepresented in America.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really not a lot of choice for a true German-style Dunkel in America. So you have to kind of go overseas. If you guys know of some really wonderful and authentic traditional Dunkels, please add that to the comments of the show. I would love to be able to try some of those, and I would love to get enough together to do an American Dunkel show at some point.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
But for now, I really have not been able to replicate the taste and profile of the Dunkel outside of Germany. But
I'm laughing because the dog's at our feet, and I think he did something terrible just now, which may impact our tasting. That's as far as I'll go. Okay, I won't giggle too much at that. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Those are funny. So, joining us again, other than Max's gaseous output, is the Weltenberger Kloster. We had their Assenbach, but now we have their Kloster Dunkel, or their Barock Dunkel. They're from 1050. And then on the other side, we've got the Etaler Kloster. So this one, we had the Battle of the 1,000-year-old Doppelbock. Now we have Battle of the Abbey Dunkels.
Big battles going on here.
Oh, yeah. The monks are going all out. It's basically like they're in the octagon,
Who
in the
loves
cage.
Jesus more is what I want to
Yeah. It's like, who likes Jesus more, and prove it through your beer.
Right.
And my personal palate. So
He will decide.
yeah, he will. Yeah. So my hope is at the end, I think you referenced it last time, but at the end, the winner will be chosen by I will rapture after drinking one of the two.
You'll disappear. I'll be sitting here.
Yeah, just my clothes will be crumpled, and then you'll live on hell on earth for a couple of years.
And Max's gas cloud will still be here.
Yeah, maybe he's one of the horsemen of the apocalypse, something like
I
that.
wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
He's opened that seal. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
All right.
So, anyway, what is a Munich Dunkel? I referenced that it was really kind of the king of the German lagers. It was really not only in Germany, but in America. Pre-Prohibition and a long time ago. I mean, it is... So, what is Dunkel? Dunkel means dark. So any dark lager can be called a Dunkel. So in America, a long time ago, you know, before Prohibition, most of the beers were Dunkels. And in fact, that's what made these crisp, refreshing adjunct lagers so new, and what made Pilsners so revelatory to people is that they were clear and they were bright, is because before that, everyone was drinking these Dunkels. But they're still delicious beers, and they're still really well represented in Germany. In fact, a lot are really in German market only. They're made for the German market only. We don't get as many out here. But it's wonderful. It's similar to a Doppelbock, but it's lighter. You're not going to get any, you shouldn't get any of the roast. You shouldn't get any of the chocolate. It's just going to be wonderful malt, clean flavors, bready, almost like a toasted bread, but a little bit lighter than that Doppelbock. It's going to be a sessionable beer. It's going to be a 5% alcohol beer, something you can drink pretty much all night long and be okay with. And what you want to see here is low presence of hops and the complexity of the malt.
Right.
That's what you're looking for. It's really the profile. You're putting your malt up on a pedestal here for all to see. Not a lot to hide. Yeah, not a lot to hide here, behind here.
Right.
We talked about these lagers in the past. That's one of the reasons I really like them, is because, you know, your brewing chops really have to be are on display here. You can't hide behind a ton of booze or a ton of hops or a ton of alcohol even. It's a low gravity beer. He did it again?
Either that or we have a gas leak in our apartment.
Okay. Well, it could easily be both.
If the room explodes, you'll know that I called it. There's a gas leak in our apartment.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if the room explodes and I still get this up, then I deserve some kind of award, because that's pretty cool.
True. Let's get to opening.
Which one?
Let's just do it.
At Tower?
Yeah.
Okay.
In order of.
Yeah. So one thing I will note about this is, so you got the non-returnable bottles. Maybe you've seen this in the store before. You see the little ring right here around the bottle. Nothing to be concerned about. They're just reusable bottles. They actually do that in Germany. They used to do it here like a long time ago. Got a little bit of a slow gusher. We're fine here. But don't worry about that. It does not mean anything negative about the beer inside the bottle. It's just that they reuse the bottle, and I think it's something that really should be commended.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
Yeah.
And one note about the age of these beers, we were not able to find any markings on the beer that had, any indications of when it was brewed. So we don't have that information for you, unfortunately.
We have no brewing information. When you don't have that, I mean, just you gotta go with your gut on that one. It is a risk that you're taking. Go to a store where you feel that they're moving through the product, where you maybe know someone, or just ask and say, how long has this been sitting on the shelf? And you got to take what they say with a grain of salt. You know, is this guy someone who looks out for you, or someone who's just trying to move this bottle that's been sitting on his shelf for 2 years? But just absolutely no bottling information, unfortunately. So
Yeah. So the color on this is a very rich brown, medium brown, you know, kind of a nice, rich, medium brown, very clear beer, and with some hints of orange and red, I'd say, in it.
Yep, I'd say you pretty much nailed that. Brilliantly clear, nice reddish tint to it, nice looking beer.
The nose is really nice. You know,
Man, the nose is really nice.
Yeah. The you know, that caramel malty nose is really coming through.
And it's the depth of the malt as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you're really getting all aspects of it. You're getting that bready quality to it. You're getting that toast to it as well. You're almost bordering on, not quite to a molasses, but really like a rich, sugary bread as well. You're not getting any sort of like cinnamon or anything like other than pure malt flavor to it.
Yeah.
You're not getting any hop. You're not getting any sort of minerality to it.
Yeah,
It's just
almost as though if you've ever visited a brewery and you walk into the room where they're brewing, you have that, you know, kind of grainy, malty smell in there. You know, same type of thing. If you're a home brewer, you probably know what we're talking about when you have your wort. That's what it smells like to me.
Yeah. Man, this is a beer I could just sit and smell. It smells sweet. And this is why I love Dunkel. I mean, it's just such a great smelling beer.
Wow. We'll give it a taste.
Very grainy.
Very grainy.
Very grainy.
Almost a little nutty, I think. And as far as, you know, food pairings, and when I said nutty, it just immediately made me think this would go really nice with like Gruyere cheese or some of those, you know, Alpine cheeses that are so nutty.
Yeah.
It'd be really nice. Go ahead.
It would go well with just kind of like a nice, light lunch as well. Just kind of like sitting there with a sandwich or something like that. Yeah, I mean, just really, really good beer. Easy drinking beer. It's not something that's crazy, pretentious, or anything like that. In terms of this particular beer, it's very light in the mouth. I want a little bit more of that complex nose to come through on the palate for me. I'm getting a little bit too much of the grain. I want that complex layers of malt flavor coming across.
Yeah, I can see that.
It washes away, and I'm still getting that same first flavor. I'm getting that same lingering flavor that I first tasted.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, you're right. It is sort of one note. It seems harsh, but it is exactly as it advertises. You know, from start to finish in your mouth. You don't get any surprises.
Yeah. The one surprise is, though, it doesn't smell that way.
Right.
It's got a wonderful complex note to it, but I don't know why that's not translating for me to the tongue. Still a very good beer. Still a beer that it's unfortunate you can't get this in a 6-pack.
Yeah.
That's really the way you want to have it.
Very drinkable.
Either 6-pack or on tap. And I'm going to go 89 with this beer. I think it's very good.
Yeah, I'll go with you on 89. That's about right. I was thinking, as far as other food pairings, I think this could also go really well with Mexican food, like a chicken mole or something like that.
Anything with a hint of spice, I think that malt would offset very, very well and play
It's got a little
too.
sweetness in it, with the malt. So I think that could definitely work well. So
Yeah, which is true. I mean, the Germans, when they populated portions of Mexico, got a bit of a gusher here too.
wow.
The Germans bring brewing technology wherever they go. And a lot of those dark Mexican ales are Vienna lagers, which is kind of the lighter cousin to the Dunkel.
Right.
So the Bohemia or the Dos Equis, the dark Dos Equis, or the, what's the one I'm forgetting?
Not Negro Modelo?
Negro Modelo,
Yeah.
yes. Those are the Vienna lager. Victoria Ale, which isn't a Victoria lager, is saying a true Vienna style lager. Some of the best Vienna lagers are being made in Mexico these days.
Yeah, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And like I said, it certainly complements the food, so it makes perfect sense. These
Yeah.
beers go, I would have, obviously the obvious guess on these would be German foods, everything that comes with that, spätzle and sausages and things, but also go with some spicy foods. I could even see it going with Chinese food, like a sesame chicken or something like that, to bring out all those nutty flavors once again.
Or maybe like a spicy pad thai, because you get the peanut, you get the spice, something like that.
Yeah.
It's got a tang to it, I'm sure.
I think it's really versatile.
Deep ruby color to this one.
Yeah, kind of a
red.
Yeah, much redder than the other one, I think, anyway.
Yep, very clear. Nice head to it.
So I'm
getting a little bit of like a musty grain aroma to it.
Yeah, I get the mustiness, and I felt a little uncomfortable about that at first because I'm wondering how old this beer is.
Yeah. This one I know hit the shelves very shortly after I got it, because I had this beer on tap one time years ago and fell in love with it. So ever since then, I just kind of noticed when it's on the shelf.
Yeah.
And it appeared just very recently. So who knows how long the distributor had been sitting on it. There's just no way of knowing that, especially with no bottling code to decipher. So
and maybe I'm getting more used to it now. I mean, I'm not getting that as much now. I just get more of that nutty thing going again. Dark malt, nutty.
Yeah, you know what? It's opening up a little bit as you.
It really is. I'm not getting
times.
that mustiness like I was in the first few
You're
sniffs.
Right.
Unless I just got used to it.
A little bit. You're getting a little bit of dust, but you're getting a nice bit of almost like a Nutella or something like that.
I was gonna say like peanut butter. Peanut butter's that's not right. It's like darker than peanut butter. Nutella, that's a good one, and it's European too, so it fits right in.
Thank you, Max.
Max, his snore says he agrees. I get a lot of the Nutella on the taste too.
I do as well, especially on the back. I do get a little bit of that mustiness up front. Once that washes away, there's also there's a bit of minerality. It might be minerality that we're at first smelling. I taste some minerality, which comes from the water. It is, the water around Munich is very distinct. I believe it's a lot of chalk in that region. It lends itself to these malty beers quite well, and against bitter beers. And tastes a little old.
Yeah.
Tastes old. Tastes a little oxidized, a little just faded.
Yeah, that's
kind
of how I feel too. I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, I really want to like this beer. I don't think we have a good representative of this beer today.
No.
It's missing something. It's not bad. I mean, I think we'll drink this bottle, but
No, it just tastes old. You can see
It's just flat.
there's like
they're not flat carbonation.
the shame of it is you can taste some really wonderful flavors, like kind of trying to poke through, but they're just really suppressed. I think this is an old bottle. Unfortunately, you know, I bought this from a store that moves through their product pretty well. It had not been sitting on the shelves. I can attest to that. Who knows how long it had been sitting at the distributor? Who
Right.
knows had been sitting at the importer?
Right. Anywhere in the shipping process.
It's
things
really
get
just a
slowed
shame,
down.
and I feel like it's not doing it justice. This beer I'm going to give an 86 to.
Yeah.
It's just not that good.
Right.
I mean, it's like a middling brew pub beer would put out, really,
Yeah.
and it's a shame, especially since, I mean, this to me, I mean, I've talked about this beer for years to you after having it.
He has. He had it in Madison probably 3 years ago and hasn't stopped talking about it since. I ordered it for the first time, just for the record.
Yeah.
I ordered it. And
I'm
just
trying to go
flooded
for
my
these
beer.
obscure Wisconsin beers that I can't get. Margaret
like,
gets this
I don't know this
Dunkel. Weltenberger Kloster Barak Dunkel. First of all, what kind of a name is that? Second of all, it's a Dunkel, and who cares about that? I want an Imperial Black IPA with a touch of Belgian yeast. And she was drinking it, and I leaned over and smelled your beer and was like, oh my God, that beer smells amazing.
Yeah.
And then I probably ended up drinking most of yours.
And you've been obsessed with it ever since.
Yeah. And to have it now,
Yeah.
it really breaks my heart.
Yeah.
I
know.
want to do like the Fredo kiss to it, the Michael Corleone kiss to Fredo.
No, I
You broke my heart. And then take it into a little row boat and shoot it in the back of the head.
Yeah, this beer's just having some issues today. So, but yeah, I agree. It's lackluster today. I think today the winner is the, how do you say that? Etaler?
I don't know.
Etaler.
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 It is. It is
I gotta
good.
work on my German here.
And this is, I think, a good representative of Dunkel. I mean, it's just hard to get a good Dunkel, and maybe that's why it hasn't blown up so much in the States. There aren't a lot of domestic ones that I know of. They're hard to find, really at the top of their game, imported. Yet when they do it, it's worthwhile.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a wonderful, wonderful style. Go and experiment, please, with any Dunkels that you guys have access to, and let me know what you think. And let me know which ones you found that are really good, because I'd love to try them as well. I'm always looking for new ones. Aside from that, please leave your comments on our site and on iTunes. I'll mention that again. I always appreciate the ratings and reviews that you guys leave there. We're going to switch things up on the next episode. We're going to move to much more of an American style with a European bent to it. And it should be fun. But until then, we've got some beer to drink, and hopefully you do too.